At London Power Equipment, power means service, power means protection, and most of all, power means power. Power. With technicians certified in Briggs, Kawasaki, Kohler, and Honda. And we offer for sale brands like Grasshopper, Simplicity, Echo, Husqvarna, DR, and Generac. We service and repair most outdoor power equipment brands. And if it's work gear, we've got you covered too. With arborist, forestry, and lineman gear. At 1680 Highway 192 East, we're open weekdays 8 to 5 with options for financing. We are locally owned and operated. Find LPE on Facebook or phone 606-389-5535 for London Power Equipment. The partnership between the Martin family and Peterbilt has been proven to be great. You see, Martin's has a reputation of doing things the right way, and Martin's plus Peterbilt is a winning combination. For more than 50 years, Martin's has provided unmatched service and parts availability. Locally, they support our area youth in every way possible, including the 13th Region Tournament. Martin's Peterbilt, I-75 at exit 38, Martin's Truck Parts, and Martin Peterbilt. They build relationships that last.
For quality casework since 1975, look no further than Stidham Cabinet Incorporated at 471 Nursery Road in Corbin. If you want experience, expertise, and dedication, you've found it at Stidham Cabinet. Come create your dream design by visiting our 2,000 square foot showroom or visit StidhamCabinet.com to see a list of all of our name brand products to choose from. That's Stidham Cabinet, 471 Nursery Road in Corbin. Phone number 606-528-3648 or 800-425-0899.
The partnership between the Martin family and Peterbilt has been proven to be great. You see, Martin's has a reputation of doing things the right way, and Martin's plus Peterbilt is a winning combination. For more than 50 years, Martin's has provided unmatched service and parts availability. Locally, they support our area youth in every way possible, including the 13th Region Tournament. Martin's Peterbilt, I-75 at exit 38, Martin's Truck Parts, and Martin Peterbilt. They build relationships that last. At Liza Joyner Designs, we share your distinctive vision for your custom home interior design. At Liza Joyner, check out our large selection of Mackenzie Childs. Enjoy browsing all the brands that help us create our designs at lizajoyner.com or find us on Facebook and in person at 210 North Broad Street off Main in London. Open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. Phone 606-657-4400 for Liza Joyner Design.
All right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Jaguar Broadcasting Network here on North Laurel Nation on Facebook and WJTE 98.5 FM, the Light of London. This is Jalen Black, and I'm joined here this evening by North Laurel softball alum and holds multiple records for the softball team, Emily Sizemore. Emily, thank you for joining me here tonight.
Thank you so much for having me, Jay. I'm excited.
So we are excited to bring the call as your Lady Jaguars take on Mercer County. Mercer County just finished playing South Laurel here at the John Hooker Memorial Classic, where South came away with the win, but that looked to be a pretty good game. We only got to catch the last little bit of it, but they were tied going into the last inning.
The top of the seventh, yeah. South had a big top of the seventh inning, and Mercer just couldn't come back from that in the bottom.
So the teams playing on the softball side of things here in the John Hooker Memorial Classic is your Lady Jags, Mercer County, Montgomery County, and South Laurel. And Montgomery County was the team to come out on top today as they defeated your Lady Jags earlier this morning 10-8 and also took down South Laurel as well. So Montgomery County, a very talented softball team, it sounds like, and went 2-0 here at the John Hooker Memorial Classic. And also, for those of you that tuned in this morning, you know your North Laurel baseball Jags came out with a good win. Cooper Elza got on base for the walk-off hit there, and they defeated Southwestern 7-6, I believe. And they played a little earlier today for the second time and ended up defeating Pulaski 9-6. So North Laurel baseball going 2-0 in the John Hooker Memorial Classic, but just overall a really cool tournament honoring a really good person, good baseball player, and someone who is the epitome of what it is to be a Jaguar.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. And I think any time that you can use sports to bring people together and create a little joy out of just a tragic situation is kind of just the beauty. And I think it speaks of who North Laurel is and what we try to represent and what we try to do through our sports teams.
Bella Sizemore coming to the booth to wave at you guys. Oh my Lord, I don't know what she's saying. So it looks like we finally have the umpires come out here. That's what we've been waiting on, but I'm sure it's been a long day for them and all their gear and
they're flipping back and forth through the games.
Absolutely. So a little bit about Mercer County. They are coming out of the 46th district in the 12th region. The Titans are towards the second to last in their region's RPI rankings here. They have a record. That can't be right. Record of 11-9. I was expecting it to be a little worse than that.
Yeah, I think we were talking about it earlier, and they've got quite a few less games than the Lady Jags have. And looking here, it looks like they did not go on spring break anywhere. They're in April. They had 2 games on April the 12th in Lady Titans Classic. So, maybe they didn't get a lot of spring break games in, maybe a couple of rainouts to keep them from multiple games being played already.
Yeah, but I mean, they have a winning record and still second to last in the RPI. That's, normally unheard of, but obviously RPI, there's a lot of things that go into play, and one of them being, toughness of schedule. Their coach said earlier that they have the second toughest schedule in all of Kentucky softball. So,
yeah, they look like they've played some pretty good teams. It looks like they've had a little stretch of loss of games there, but that's included playing South Laurel twice. Franklin County, the Lady Jags have played Franklin County this year, and they're really talented. And then you got Oldham County and H. Jessamine. Those Lexington schools usually are pretty talented in the softball programs.
Yeah.
So they've played some tough games, but on a little losing streak here coming into the Classic today.
Yeah, it looks like on the mound for them is going to be Ava Music.
Now for your starting lineups. First for the Mercer County.
So we'll see here. Music has pitched 17 games, only a freshman. So it appears they're in a little bit of the same kind of boat as we are when it comes to pitching.
Yeah, and as I was looking at their roster too, it looks like they've got 3 seniors and only 2 that's had the equivalent of games played at like 19 and 17. So they look fairly decently young. Looks like they got a lot of talent. They actually got their leading batting average at .531 from a freshman. That's number
impressive.
20, Ava Music. So, it looks like they've got a lot of talent. Maybe some young, unexperienced may give their record a little more, being a little more reasonable to what that shows.
Yeah, definitely. So you said Music leads the Titans with batting average is only a freshman, and she also appears to be their number 1, their ace pitcher here. Pitched 17 games and has an ERA of 5.27.
Yeah, and behind her, she's pitched 30 more innings than the junior Ella Davis, number 34, with a 5.54 ERA. So she's pitched most of the games, it seems like, as a freshman on the mound. And, that can take a lot. She seems probably competitive and looks like she's really talented. So maybe they got a good future looking for them in the years to come.
Yeah, so North Laurel down a player today. Tessa Mulholland unfortunately lost her grandmother a couple days ago, and today was the funeral. So just keep Tessa in your thoughts and prayers and her entire family. And we've missed her on the field today for us. So Emma Carl pitched the game earlier this morning against Montgomery County, and tonight in the circle for your Jags is Lucy Jo Linville. Emily, you probably know better than I do. Has Lucy pitched any varsity games?
I am not sure if she's pitched one varsity game yet, but don't take my word for that because I've been at school most of their season.
Yep.
So this last couple stretch of games I've been able to come. She did play in the JV, pitch in the JV game last night. I don't know if that was Coach Edwards' way of prepping her for today because he knew that Tessa would not be with us. So she did fairly good. She's really talented. She's a competitive girl. So I think she's going to at least bring that to the mound. But she's got a solid defense behind her. An infield full of seniors will bring a little confidence.
Yeah, according to KHSAA, Lucy Joe has not been written down in the stats for pitching a varsity game. So excited for her, as this could possibly be her first varsity start in the circle. But as you can tell, your Lady Jags rocking some pink hair ties, pink socks, pink belt. That is all in honor for Mother's Day and one of their teammates who lost her mother to breast cancer a few years back. So they're honoring Kylie Lewis's late mother here on this Mother's Day weekend.
Here comes the first pitch.
Nice first pitch strike there for Linville. This is number 44, Jaylee Bowman, the right fielder, leading off for Mercer County.
Lefty starting off the inning.
Second pitch by Linville is just outside for ball one.
I like how Lucy's come out in the circle. I feel like she's confident. She don't seem too timid, and that's what they need going into the second game of the day.
Right there. Ooh, missed just low on that pitch right there. So I believe that'll be a 2-1 count now, but I'm like you. I like the way Lucy's coming out here. She's trying to pound the strike zone, and Bowman being very patient, waiting for what she wants. Right there, just at the waistline for strike number 2.
That's a good strike spot if she can get that for the rest of the evening. That's a tough outside pitch right there coming across the letters of our left-handed batter.
And Bowman, second best hitter according to average, with batting .470. So Lucy Joe finds herself now in a full count situation, but so far done really well on the leadoff hitter.
Yeah, and she's got no home runs but 11 stolen bases, so they look for her to get on the base path and really cause havoc.
Ooh, McClure tried to backhand that ground ball, pops up and hits her in the face mask. So Bowman going to get on there with what was probably recorded as an error. But regardless, that's a hard hit ball in the gap. Tough play for the shortstop to make.
It definitely was. And, the turf can either help you or hurt you, and sometimes like that, it just eats you up. But that was a good play, but I'm sure that Sage will make it up right here as hopefully our middles can turn 2.
Absolutely. So now batting second is number 1, Natalie Johnson, the left fielder for the Titans. Another lefty here. She's going to square to bunt, tries to get it down. That'll be foul for strike 1. So it's clear they like to start off with speed in their ball games.
They do. She is quick. You can tell that 2 lefties starting off, they're usually going to try to at least get them on base somehow. And I'm sure they got big hitters coming up. Probably number 20, Music, batting .531, big hitters behind if they can get them on the base path.
Right there, looking to slap, and that pitch just a little low.
That looked like a changeup,
yeah,
Jay,
off
from
speed.
Here.
For sure. That not a bad pitch, just missed the strike zone by a little. 1-1 count now. Another bunt. She'll get it down right back to Linville. She gets easy out at first, and the runner will advance to second.
1 out for the Lady Jags. We got a runner on 2, number 18, Izzy Carlton, batting .333 on the year.
Yeah, Carlton, only a sophomore. She has 21 hits this season on 63 at-bats. Pretty tall girl right here to be only a sophomore.
She's got 4 home runs. She's the second leading home run leader outside of Music with 4.
Ooh. I like that pitch right there by Linville. Trying to hit that outside corner. I think she might have missed just low on that one. So starts out this count behind. 1 ball, no strikes. That pitch in the turf.
You can tell the pitching staff is really trying to keep that ball out of the middle of the plate there. Trying to get approach, maybe try to get her chase something here early in the ball game.
Right there. Good pitch on the outside corner, and Music went for it right there. Fouls it off for strike 1. Music also going to be in the circle, as we mentioned earlier, for the Titans. Right there. Hits that one kind of off the handle, so it'll drop. in front of Carl in right field, and Bowman going to stop at third. That's one of those kind of unlucky. Linville threw it right where she wanted to on that outside corner, and Music still didn't really get good contact on it.
And kind of that's the hard part for your defense when the hitter don't get all of it, but you're not in a position to really play that soft hit to the outfield. But I'm anxious to see what the Lady Jags are going to do with the first and third situation with the 4-hole coming up.
At the plate now, number 19, that's Mia Floro, center fielder. And yeah, it looks like they're going to try to do a pickle.
Oh.
Finley overthrows second base, and that's an easy run for the Titans as Bowman scores.
That was not executed well for the Lady Jags. That could have been a nice out. She was jogging down the base path trying to give time to get in a rundown, but that could have been an easy out for our Lady Jags with 2.
Yeah, it's situations like that when I'd almost throw a bullet back to the pitcher and try to get that runner on third to go. And Finley bobbles it. She'll throw for third, and good dig by Adams, but the throw not in time.
You can tell early in this ballgame they are aggressive on the base pass. That's your 3-hole running bases like that. So Lady Jags are going to have to be aware of that and make adjustments when they come out in the top of the second, that these girls are going to be very aggressive coming out on the bases.
Yeah, and big reason we took the loss to Montgomery County was from errors in the field that we don't typically make, as that ball is fouled out of play. So this game, they're really going to have to cut down on the errors in the field in order to set them up for a good victory. So Floro, 1-2 count for her. She has a runner on third and only 1 out here in the top of the first. She hits a hard shot right up the middle, gets past Linville, and that's going to be
an RBI single.
Absolutely. So Music scores. And that brings up first baseman number 28, Izzy Carlton.
2-0, the Mercer County Titans lead here against the Lady Jags. Hopefully they can find an easy out, maybe turn it up the middle with Sage and Bella to get them out of this inning, and hopefully their bats are alive coming into the bottom of the first.
Looking for that outside spot again, just a little too far outside. Going to be ball 1.
Kind of wondering if Coach Edwards called that outside pitch like that to prepare Bella Finley to be able to throw down to second.
Yeah, and right there, great pitch as Carlton fouls it off. So far, though, not a bad start for Linville in the circle. I mean, she's throwing pitches that aren't right over the plate. But Mercer County just has that luck to start the game off where they're hitting them in the gaps.
Yeah, and they're coming off from a back-to-back game. They're warm and ready. So hopefully they can get out this inning and really bounce back in the bottom of the second and continue that through the game.
I think on any other batter other than Carlton, that pitch right there would have been a strike.
I think so too.
But she has got some long legs and a really tall stature here. And that was ball 2. She'll hit another little blooper. Emma Carl makes the catch and picks the runner off at first. Great job by Carl. And right there, like you mentioned, you knew when that first hit landed in front of her, you said she'll make it up. And right there she did, got the double play and gets North Laurel out of the inning. So 2 runs scored by Mercer County here in the top of the first. But as you mentioned, just come off of a game against South Laurel. And they're warmed up. They have the bats rolling. You know, they were feeling pretty good in their first at-bat this game.
Yeah, hopefully the Lady Jags can, regroup and maybe get their bats hot and use that momentum to come in the top of the second and cut some of those errors, clean up our throws, and, be ready. They're going to be aggressive on the base path. They're aggressive hitters in the box. I don't think, Jay, we've seen one really just take a pitch.
No.
So they've been aggressive in the box. They've not really got down in the count. So Lady Jags just need to be ready for that aggressiveness throughout the rest of the game.
Yeah, just a little bit of a missed opportunity there when we tried to throw down to second. Even had we not got the runner at second, that throw automatically was a telltale sign for Bowman on third to go home. And I think if McClure caught the ball cleanly, we might have had a good play at the plate. But regardless, only 2 runs scored. So as long as we get the bats going right here, should be okay.
Yeah, I think so too. We got Katie Sams coming up, leading off the Lady Jags at the bottom of the first.
And Music right here warming up. She looks like she's got a little bit of speed on her here, just from what I've been able to see.
She does. She looks like she's gripping the ball, trying to maybe throw that curve ball. I don't know how much it's spinning that I can tell sitting behind the plate here. Maybe we watch her a few more times that she's trying to. It's got a little bit of a spin, but it's not cutting too bad. So hopefully Lady Jax can take advantage of that and maybe be smart in the count if she's trying to spin and miss it, that they're not giving her those extra strikes.
Yeah, really, every pitch she threw right there was inside for a right-handed batter. So if you're Katie Sams leading off here, that's kind of what you can expect is her to try to start off in that same spot.
Absolutely, and she's a great leadoff. She struggled a little bit in that first game, but I have full confidence in Katie Sams to come out and be a smart leadoff. Once she gets on the base pass, she's really dangerous, super quick, very active. So hopefully she can start the Lady Jags off right here in the bottom of the first as they come down 2-0.
Yeah, and what I noticed from the last little bit was Mercer County made some mistakes in the field. So if North Laurel can just at least try to put the ball in play here, maybe force some errors and get on base. First pitch, that inside corner, like I mentioned, and it's low for ball one.
Jay, and picking back off what you said, if you notice our center fielder is all the way to the left of the Jaguar head, to the left side of the second base bag. So I don't know if this pitcher is an inside pitcher, but they are on a heavy shift out there.
Yeah, I mean, right there, the inside corner once again, and home plate umpire going to check the first base umpire, and he says she did not go because Sam's kind of checked her swing there, so that's going to be ball two. But thank you to some of our listeners here in the comments, Naomi Thomas and Cherry Black. Thank you all for tuning in. If you're listening, let us know in the comments. Sam's kind of gets under that one, but it's going to be fouling out of play.
Good thing is we're 2-1, still on a hitter's count, so hopefully she can find her pitch and get on base. However that looks at this point, going down 2-0 in the bottom of the first.
Right there, Sams gets a piece of a great ball, and it drops fair. She's rounding first. She's looking. Edwards calling her in. She's going to third, and she's going to have a stand-up triple down the right line there. What a hit by Katie Sams.
That was a great hit. Good start to the bottom of the first, especially coming out 2-0. She really needed that hit, so I'm super proud of that kiddo. She needed that little boost of confidence. Hopefully that can propel her for the rest of the game.
Yeah, that might be one of the better hits I've seen from her so far this season in the games I've watched. Just a great job, waited on that and drove it outside. So now number 4, Carl, who's playing right field this game. That was a really high pitch right there for ball one.
Our little Lady Jags likes that high fastball coming in there, so it looks like they're doing their scouting report just a little bit.
Yep, it can be hard to hold off on that. It just looks too good up there in the air.
But I know from experience, you swing and it's at your eyes, and you're like, well, can't take that back.
That right there was a nice pitch by Music. It looked like it had some movement there and ended up on the outside corner for strike one. Carl, though, a great hitter, if I'm not mistaken, had 2 home runs in the game.
She did.
This morning against Montgomery County.
She's seeing the ball super well right now, a lot of confidence. That's what they need to be able to pick back within the circle, too.
Yeah, and that one going to get a piece of Carl there in the lower leg. But as our athletic trainer, Jordan Markham, he says, get a hit or get hit. Carl would like to wear that one on her shin there, and she walks it off to first base. So far, I like what I'm seeing from the Lady Jags here at the plate. They are doing whatever they can to get on base.
Great situation here. You got a great hitter, senior leader, Sage McClure, coming in. First and third situation.
Sage looking to get that bunt down. She does not, and that would look to be a fake bunt to get the steal there, and Carl up safe at second.
This is exactly where you want, as Coach Edwards would want Sage in this situation. Down 2-0, you got your 3-hole. Bella Sizemore coming up in the 4-hole with runners on third and second.
Yeah, Sage has got to be one of the best overall hitters I've ever watched play a game of softball. She is so patient. She can work from behind in the count. She just really knows how to get everything out of a pitcher and make the best out of it.
She does, and she didn't have any truly big hits like you usually see out of number 2 in our first game. So I'm really looking for her to attack early in the count and really come up big for the Lady Jags to bounce back from that this morning. So I'm really looking for a lot out of Sage today.
Yeah, right there, that outside pitch. She read it just a little bit late, was able to foul it off. 1-2 count now.
Yeah, and the great thing about Sage, too, she's got great eyes. She don't care to take the walk. She's a hard out for sure.
Sage has only struck out twice this season. Twice. That in itself is very impressive. That just goes to show, she's going to put the ball in play, or she's going to take ball 4, like you mentioned, and get on base. Right now, a 2-2 count for her. She has runners on second and third, so 2 runners in scoring position and no outs. This is a great spot for the Lady Jags to be in after going down 2-0 in the first inning. Right there, little dribbler to the pitcher, but it's going to score an easy run.
Good RBI for number 2. You know,
That's
run is a run.
Absolutely, that's what Sage does best. Just puts it in play and makes something else happen. All right, here we go. Number 8, second baseman and senior Bella Sizemore at the plate now. She's got a runner on third base with 1 out here. North Laurel now trails 2-1.
She's seeing it pretty well this morning, so hopefully that catches on. Woo, real inside.
Yeah. A little
Big
spin.
Bella Sizemore reaction there.
A little spin right there to avoid taking it under the chin.
She's protecting that ear at all costs.
Yeah, I took a hit by a foul ball earlier this week. 1-0 pitch. Right there. Ooh, she was all over that one. Might have just stepped out with that front foot a little bit and fouls it out of play.
I'm really liking the mentality of the Lady Jags. They're it looks like they're taking that inside pitch and really attacking when she's getting it over the plate towards the outside of the plate. We've seen all kinds of drives to the right side of this field. I'm really liking that line drive mentality here early.
1-1 count, and that's a big old swing there by Sizemore. That high pitch we talked about.
It's the Bella Sizemore pitch. She
Yep.
either gets it or a little swing and miss there. We got a 1-2 count.
Right here, just porting she's smart, and if it's anywhere close, you got to battle here now and at least try to foul it off. But again, only 1 out. If she can just put this in play in the outfield somewhere, that's a run scored. Ooh, and she just missed that one as it is fouled out of play.
Like you said, the worst case scenario, just like Sage did, get this ball in play and get that runner on, and we got a brand new ball game here. It puts the score back 2-2, which is 0-0. So worst case scenario, Bella gets it in play and gets Emma Carl across home plate.
Absolutely. 1-2 count here as Bella's still battling. That pitch low and inside. Great eye there. Two balls, 2 strikes now.
She looks like she's still pounding the inside part of that zone here.
Great job by Sizemore. That pitch kind of came up on her quick, but was able to foul it off. Keep battling here. That's the thing as a hitter. You've got to be a hard out. You can't just go up there, watch 3, swing at the first 3. You got to battle and make this pitcher earn it.
Absolutely. She's coming up with confidence at the plate. Here comes the pitch.
And Sizemore strikes out looking to a pitch down the middle for out number 2.
Just a tough pitch to take with the 2-2. I know it kind of looks similar to that one he called a strike, but just still a little too close there to take with 2 strikes on you. But hopefully Ellie Adams can pick her up here and at least try to get this run across the plate.
Yeah, Ellie Adams steps to the plate now, third baseman and senior as well. North Laurel with a really talented senior class this year.
They absolutely are.
Right there, that one may drop. No, Bowman in right field are going to get to it for out number 3. So North Laurel gets 1 run on the board, leaves 1 runner on. And trail 2-1 now to Mercer County. You're listening to Jalen Black and Emily Sizemore on the call tonight on North Laurel Nation, the official home of the Jaguar Broadcasting Network on Facebook, and 98.5 WJTE, the Light of London. We'll step aside, get a word from our sponsors, and be right back.
Gondolier Italian Restaurant of London is a proud supporter of North Laurel Athletics. Locally owned and operated, Doyle Jones and his family and staff use only the freshest ingredients with the largest menu selection around. Here are just a few of the things folks are saying about Gondolier. Fast, friendly service. Everything was delicious. While another satisfied customer says great service and staff. The food is amazing and has yet to disappoint. GondelierofLondon.com. North Laurel and Gondolier are a winning team.
At London Power Equipment, power means service, power means protection, and most of all, power means power. Power. With technicians certified in Briggs, Kawasaki, Kohler, and Honda. And we offer for sale brands like Grasshopper, Simplicity, Echo, Husqvarna, DR, and Generac. We service and repair most outdoor power equipment brands. And if it's work gear, we've got you covered too. With arborist, forestry, and lineman gear. At 1680 Highway 192 East, we're open weekdays 8 to 5. With options for financing, we are locally owned and operated. Find LPE on Facebook or phone 606-389-5535 for London Power Equipment.
All right, welcome back here to the Jaguar Broadcasting Network. North Laurel able to put one run on the board in the bottom of the first inning, so makes the score 2-1. Mercer County leads. This is number 24, I believe, up to bat for the Titans. Reese Ransdell, and she hits a little dribbler down the third base line. Adams fields it and throws her out at first for out number 1.
It's a good start there for the Lady Jags to get a quick out there.
Yeah, that's what exactly. If you're Linville, that's exactly what you want in the circle. Just little easy ground ball routine plays for your infield. Now at the plate for the Titans, number 22, center fielder KJ Sutton.
It's one of the few seniors here in the lineup.
And she swings on the first pitch and fouls it off behind the plate. Sutton with 18 hits on 68 at bats as she fouls another one off, and this one's out of play.
So if you notice, Jay, in the strikeout column, almost every player's got double-digit strikeouts. But I feel like that probably has to do with some of their aggressiveness.
Yeah,
they don't take a lot of pitches.
Right there, she lays off that pitch, and they're going to say it was ball 1.
That was a good 0-2 pitch from Lucy there. Keep it out of the zone, see if they'll chase.
Yeah, I like Linville being confident here, and another little line drive hit right to Carl in right field for out 2.
Quick 2 outs for the Lady Jags. This inning's looking much better.
Yeah, much more promising here, and Linville doing a great job not throwing anything on a silver platter over the middle of the plate. Up to bat now is number 14, Emery Thompson, the third baseman for the Titans. First swing on the first pitch, and Emma Carl's been busy so far tonight as she makes out number 3. Yeah, 2
out of the 3 outs.
Absolutely. So great 3 up, 3 down inning for the Jags there, and hopefully we can start right where we left off there, put some more runs on the board. But so far, Linville done a pretty good job in the circle. She's not allowed too many hits in the gap. Obviously, like we said, they came in warmed up, so that first inning wasn't a shock that they were still hitting the ball pretty well.
Yeah, and when you see 2 back-to-back hits like that, you're supposing that Linfield is hitting those spots. 2 outside pitches, both players get underneath it and hit it right to Emma Carl where she's standing. So hats off to Lucy Joe coming out and just being ready and coming out and hitting her spots with a really talented defense behind her,
Absolutely. And we'd like to take a moment, though, to thank our sponsors here. We have multiple sponsors who are supporting the North Laurel athletes here, but specifically softball and baseball today. That's Martin's Peterbilt, Gondolier Italian Restaurant, Joyner Designs, Stidham Cabinets, and London Power Equipment. So first baseman number 28 and senior Morgan Edwards going to lead the Jags off here in the bottom of the second inning as they trail 2-1 to Mercer County.
Number 28, Morgan Edwards.
You just have a loaded senior roster here. A lot of experience, a lot of talent, and a lot of leadership. That has to come into play as teams prep for North Laurel, coming into every game with so much experience and just age.
Yeah, and this class of 2025 was a huge reason they were in the state championship game last season as well. They've played ball for many years together growing up, and just very, very experienced and well-seasoned group.
Right there, we have a 1-0 count. The catcher stuck that there for a little bit, hoping to get that call, but he didn't give it to her. Morgan Edwards, 1-0.
Morgan with 26 hits on 77 at-bats this season. And a nice cut there just underneath the ball for strike one.
And as you see, our pitcher here is working both sides of the plate, coming inside the first pitch and then went right outside. So she is mixing it up, keeping the batters on their toes.
Right there, that inside pitch, just a little low. Or in the turf, I guess I should say. That was more than a little low. That was at her ankles, but 2 balls, 1 strike now for Morgan. Right there, Morgan starting to get all over that ball. Fouls it off into the back of the net.
Good contact there by Morgan attacking that outside pitch. Lady Jacks continued to do that. I'm not sure if that's their game plan, plate approach going in, but most of them have attacked that outside pitch coming in.
And right there, that inside pitch. Second strikeout looking there for your Jaguars. And that's going to be out number 1 this inning.
Hopefully that's an adjustment coming in when we roll through the lineup again, that if she gets 2 pitches on you, she's really going to try to stun you coming back inside after she's worked you outside of the plate. So hopefully that senior leadership and good plate approach help Lady Jacks make that adjustment there.
So catcher number 15, Bella Finley, to the plate now for the Jags. First pitch to her is up in the clouds for ball 1.
And Bella Finley, I have to say, has really come alive in these past couple of games. She's had a pretty hot bat, seeing the ball well. So that's good for her to get hot right here at the end of the year.
That inside pitch, she's really working that. And that one there was about knee high for strike 1. One pitch, and Finley gets a piece of it, fouls it off.
Again, she moved her right outside if she got that initial strike on her. Maybe looking for her to stay outside and then come back in for that 3rd strike pitch. But Lady Jack just got to be ready today. She's working both sides of the plate, and they just got to take their pitch when they get it.
Ooh, great read there by Finley. That one might have been a little high, but with 2 strikes on you, you have to hit everything that's close.
It looked a little off speed there.
Oh yeah, that was definitely a nice changeup by Music. Had Finley on her front foot, but great job making contact and making sure it was down and out of play.
I think it's the second changeup we've seen on the night. She kind of keeps that in her back pocket, I guess. She don't overly throw it, but she's thrown it 2 times here. Bella Finley 1 and 2.
Ooh, that was
pretty close right there.
Yeah, she really, really tries to jam you with that inside pitch. And
she has come in on the inner part of the plate there. Every batter that she's had 2 strikes on, so hopefully the Lady Jacks can see that, make that adjustment. That was a pretty close pitch there with 2 strikes.
Good read there. And a hard hit ball by Finley. Wow, that's a great play by the second baseman. Tough break if you're Bella Finley right there.
Yeah, the ball just rolled in the correct direction. She had a great up the middle hit, come out of the shortstop's glove, bounces to the second baseman, and she was able to make the throw in time, which was a hard hit ball. But luck of the rotation of the ball there, I guess. Unlucky for our Lady Jag, Bella Finley.
So 2 outs now, and the pitcher, Lucy Jo Linville, steps to the plate. Lucy's only a freshman for your Lady Jags and only had 15 at bats, where she's been a hitter for 19 games.
Yeah, coming in from a transfer from Tennessee. So the first year, experience in this Lady Jags program and being involved in the legacy of being on this team. So super excited for her to be here and just get to experience this North Laurel pride, along with a very talented group of girls to come in your freshman year with.
No doubt. 0-1 count now for Lucy. Right there, just stepped out and got underneath that one. And going to be out number 3 to the first baseman. So pretty quick inning there for your Lady Jags. Not able to put any more runs on the board. So that's going to do it for the bottom of the second inning. We head into the top of the third. Mercer County leads 2-1 over your Lady Jags. You're listening to Jalen Black and Emily Sizemore on North Laurel Nation. We'll step aside and be right back.
For quality casework since 1975, look no further than Stidham Cabinet Incorporated at 471 Nursery Road in Corbin. If you want experience, expertise, and dedication, you've found it at Stidham Cabinet. Come create your dream design by visiting our 2,000 square foot showroom or visit StidhamCabinet.com to see a list of all of our name brand products to choose from. That's Stidham Cabinet, 471 Nursery Road in Corbin. Phone number 606-528-3648 or 800-425-0899.
All right, welcome back. Here is your Lady Jags are in a pretty close battle with Mercer County. They trail 2-1, heading to the top of the third inning. Hard hit ball back to Linville, and it's going to get past her for a single.
That's the second or third of the middle ball we've seen coming from the Lady Titans. So they're really getting all of that. I can't really tell if the pitch is over the plate or if they're just, hitting that where they're supposed to. But we're back to the top of the lineup here.
Yeah, that was number 34, Ella Davis, the second baseman, hitting in the 9-hole, and she gets a single to start the Titans off.
Again, 1 through 9, Jay, if you can agree, has come out super aggressive in the box. They don't take many pitches, and they jump on that first pitch when they can.
First pitch to Bowman, high for ball 1. Linville looking for that outside corner on the second pitch. Can't find it. 2 balls, no strikes.
Yeah, just a little too outside there and a little up. She just needs to bring that in the zone and try to clip the outside corner of that plate to see if the ump will give her that.
And Bowman swings on that pitch, fouls it off out of play.
It looks like the ball came out of the hand and she flipped that hand over, so I'm not sure if she was trying to throw an off speed there or a little bit of movement, but she looked like that hand flipped over, so maybe threw an off speed, try to get that extra strike on her here.
2-1 count for Bowman. That outside pitch a little low for ball 3. Here comes the 3-1 pitch, and nice inside pitch, waist level for strike 2.
That was a great pitch there. The batter looks a little stunned, but great call for Lucy coming here with a full count, top of your lineup. This will be a big out for the Lady Jags. Maybe we can roll it up the middle here to get 2.
Great pitch, but nice hit.
Oh, it got past Katie Sams in center field all the way to the fence, and they are sending her 4. Sage McClure holds it at the edge of the grass there.
Now batting for Mercer County, number 1.
So just one run scored there, making it 3-1. That lefty, though, you have to be aware of that in the outfield, that they're going to have that natural cut on their swing when they make contact. They took a hard cut to the left there on Katie Sams.
Yeah, I thought for a minute McClure was going to be able to jump up and make that catch. But you could tell it had a weird curve on it. It rose and then just dropped last second and got past Sam's, went all the way to the fence. This is Natalie Johnson now. 1-0 count for her. And she is a slapper there. Off-speed pitch by Lucy, too high. Going to be ball 2.
Again, no out. Your leadoff is on second base and Speed at the plate.
A little dribbler to Ellie at third. Throw is short. Edwards can't make the grab, and Carl wasn't there to back it up. So Bowman going to score and make this game 4-1.
Yeah, and the Lady Jags, they usually they have had one of the toughest defensive performances, I would say, in the state. Great talent in the field, but the past couple games they've had a couple sloppy throws, not made the right plays, and it's really eating them up here in the top of the third.
So no outs. 2 runners have scored already, and they have a runner on second here in the top of the third inning. 1-0 count now for Music.
You got a big lead at second base there. The 2-hole is past Sage McClure when she gets that lead off. Probably an automatic score if it gets to the green.
2-0 count now. And Finley looking for it, rips her mask off last second and can't make the grab behind the plate.
Took her just a few minutes to find that, it seemed like.
Yeah, I think initially that she thought it was out of play. Then she popped up and realized it was right there, and by the time she had her mask off, that's a tough play to make. Ball had a weird spin on it as well. 2-1 count for Music.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, that's a pretty pitch.
Feel like she's gotten that pitch the past couple batters, so that's hard to get 3-1 on probably the best hitter in their lineup with no outs.
Yeah, I don't even know. I'm assuming that missed high, if I had to guess. That was pretty close, though. But another great pitch. Forces Music to pop up, and this time Finley going to come out of the catcher's box there and make the catch.
It's a big out for the Lady Jags right there. Finley super active behind the plate. She was all over that one, picking herself back up from that last. That was a big out there for the Lady Jags. We got 1 out, still a runner on 2.
Now to the plate, number 19, Mia Floro, catcher for the Titans. And, yeah, look at that lead by Johnson on second.
Bella Finley makes 1 bobble here. She's probably got third base, but she did a good job there about getting that one and getting back up on her feet to check that runner.
1-0 count now. Linville a little outside on that pitch. Two-0 count now. And that ball hit down the first base line, but it is foul.
That was a good 2-0 pitch right there. Got herself a strike. Put herself on the board here.
Two-one count for Floro now. And Floro hits that one off the end of the bat. Linville going to have to make a tough play, and she does for out number 2.
There was quick timing there because it looked like Linville was waiting for that spin to roll it back outside the lines for a foul ball, but it kind of stuck there in the turf, and she ended up having to make the play. Very timely play, but it looked like she was trying to wait out the spin there for a second.
So that'll bring the first baseman, number 28, Izzy Carlton, to the plate. First pitch to her, and Linville gets that call.
It was a great pitch. If she can keep it right there at the knees, of number 2-8, that'd be a great spot for her to live for this bat and the rest of the game if she can get it from blue.
And a hard hit ball, going to be a single to left field for Carlton.
Single RBI. It looked like it just got up on her hands, maybe her sweet spot there. She got all of that ball. She's ripping down the left field line.
So Mercer County puts another run on the board, and they lead 5-1 over your Jaguars here in the top of the third. That pitch just misses, and it's going to be ball one.
Lady Jags got 2 outs here. They got to force it second and first, so hopefully they can find an out somewhere in the infield.
That ball low gets past Finley, and Carlton takes second with ease.
Took a pretty good bounce there. It looked like it kind of nicked the front of the plate. It kind of just got outside the body of Bella Finley behind the plate there. Takes away the force.
Great pitch. Down 2-0 for Linville there. Inside for strike one. That ball hit off the end of the bat right back to Lucy, and she throws the first for out number 3. So North Laurel gives up
3 runs?
Yeah, three runs there in the top of the third inning. So they lead 5-1. Mercer County leads 5-1 over your Lady Jags. Mercer County just hitting the ball in the gaps, and we had the bad throw to first that got past Morgan and scored a run. And just if a team is doing that well, putting the ball in the gaps, you cannot have any errors in the field.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. You do have a unexperienced freshman in the mound. So when she does get those ground balls to the infield, those fly balls to the outfield, they really need to take advantage of that and make sure those are definite outs. But when you're having a team having hard hit balls to the gaps and down the lines, and then you're making mistakes and errors on easy outs, that really puts a lot of pressure on her. But, also on the defense here, as they're down 5-1 with a couple just, errors that they usually don't see out of the Lady Jags.
Looks like we have left fielder number 11, Katie Keene, leading off in the bottom of the third inning for your Jags.
Puts them coming up 9-1-2, so hopefully they can really take advantage and get some base runners on the base pass coming into the bottom of the third.
Katie Keene, a junior, with 16 hits on 68 at bats for a batting average of .235. First pitch to her, and she fouls it off.
I did notice she was kind of scooting back from that white line there, hopefully trying to make the adjustment to attack that inside pitch and give them a little more working room with their hands throughout the zone.
Nice hit by Keene up the middle over the pitcher's head for a nice stand-up single.
That was a great hit right up the middle. She looked like she got all that, and that appeared to be an inside pitch, but where she gave herself a little bit of room off the plate, she was able to get her hands through it and not jammed on that pitch. It's a nice single for Katie Keene starting the bottom of the third.
And now up to bat, Katie Sam's no outs and a runner on first, and she hit a nice triple to start the ball game off in her first at bat. There's that inside pitch, and there was some movement on that one. You could tell from here.
Yeah, I could tell in warm-ups that she was trying to spin it, but it's kind of hard to see back here if that ball is actually breaking, especially in warm-ups. They not always throw into perfection.
with that ball 2 inside, so going to be ball 1 for Sam's. And that's a fly ball hit to left field. Going to make the catch, and Keene not able to tag up. So it looks like Sam's just got a little bit underneath that pitch. So now to the plate for your Lady Jags, number 4, the right fielder, Emma Carl, with a runner on first and 1 out in the bottom of the 3rd.
Yeah, here you're just hoping Emma can get a solid hit, get her on base, and leave Sage McClure and Bella Sizemore to come up and hopefully make some damage here in the bottom of the 3rd.
Yeah, Emma Carl been on a little bit of a heater the last few games at the plate. She had 2 home runs in the game last night against Rockcastle to start the John Hooker Memorial Classic, as she lines that one fouled on the third base line. And then this morning in the loss to Montgomery County, she had 2 home runs as well. So been hitting the ball pretty well. We just hope it continues throughout the end of this season and into postseason play.
Absolutely, she's seeing it super well. Let's see if she can do something here.
Hits that one off the end of the bat and to the third baseman in foul territory for out number 2.
Again, she is pounding the inside part of that plate, and it looked like she just got jammed and got that off the handle. Hopefully, some senior leadership here, they can make the adjustment and give themselves some room to work with that inside pitch, because she is really becoming successful with that.
So McClure to the plate now. She had an RBI in her first at bat. Hits that ball right to the second baseman, and they get the 3rd out at the force at second. So North Laurel, quick inning there. Only 1 runner left on. No runs on the board, so they still trail 5-1 heading into the top of the 4th. You're listening to Jalen Black and Emily Sizemore on the Jaguar Broadcasting Network. We'll step aside and be right back.
At Liza Joyner Designs, we share your distinctive vision for your custom home interior design. At Liza Joyner, check out our large selection of Mackenzie Childs. Enjoy browsing all the brands that help us create our designs at lizajoyner.com, or find us on Facebook and in person at 210 North Broad Street off Main in London. Open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. Phone 606-657-4400 for Liza Joyner Design.
All right, welcome back here as North Laurel trails 5-1 in Mercer County, heading to the top of the 4th inning. We have a pitching change. Emma Carl now going to step into the circle and replace Lucy Joe. Lucy Joe pitched 3 innings, gave up 5 runs.
And, Lucy Joe, performed well under the circumstances she was in, freshman with no experience. I think it was a good move there by Coach Edwards to make that pitching change to start down here 5-1. But she goes to right field, so there's just a little flip-flop there between Emma Carl and Lucy Joe.
Yeah, Lucy did exactly what they needed of her, just to hold her ground for a few innings. Because Carl pitched earlier today against Montgomery County, and where we're down, don't have Tessa here, it's been a little bit of a struggle in the circle.
Yeah, having that absent arm really hurts, as they've been the only 2 to throw this year in the varsity circle. So, good experience for your freshmen, but it was time to make the change here for the Lady Jags.
First pitch to Sutton, she fouls off for strike 1. Second pitch, and looked like something. I don't know what kind of pitch Carl just threw there, but it has me confused. It obviously had KJ Sutton confused as she swings and misses for strike 2. So good start by Emma Carl ahead in the count. Right there, little pop-up, and Carl comes in and makes the catch look easy for out 1.
Good quick out there, and stayed ahead in the count. She didn't throw 1 ball there, so hopefully she can work ahead in the count, especially with these aggressive batters. Hopefully she can take advantage of that and get them really swinging outside the zone.
Now with the plate, third baseman number 14, Emery Thompson. Carl looking for that outside corner, doesn't get it. Going to be ball 1. Swing and a miss for strike 1.
Good pitch there. Like Carl's approach, really attacking and pounding that zone early here in the count.
1-1 pitch, and that one low for ball 2. That pitch low and inside for ball 3, so Carl gonna have to try to find her way to work back into this count.
Yep, defense really needs to be ready. This is gonna be.
Yep.
Oh, yep.
Just like you were getting ready to say.
Couldn't get it out quick enough.
Yeah, Thompson with the single gets by Adams and McClure in the gap.
You just know in that situation as a defensive player, the 3-1 count, your pitcher's going to try to get a strike there, probably put it really inside the zone. And she was really able to take advantage of that and had a nice rip for a single.
That'll bring number 34, Ella Davis, second baseman to the plate. She lays down a beautiful bunt, but Finley read it great, and Sizemore was there to cover her post. Oh, that is a close play at second. The runner overran second base. Sizemore saw it. Man, that's a great heads-up play by McClure and Sizemore there. And
Sizemore really wanted that. She thought they got her there, but that was a great heads-up play. Again, that comes in with just that experience and leadership, having 2 seniors playing the middles there. But what a great bunt to move that runner. That was about a perfect bunt there.
Yeah, it was a great job by Finley. Got up quick and fielded that, made a good throw over the runner's head.
Back to the top of the order here.
It's Bowman at the plate. First pitch to her is low for ball 1. She has a runner on second base in scoring position and 2 outs here in the top of the 4th inning. Nice pitch there by Emma Carl, just right there in the bottom of the zone, knee level.
And he's really given that. Not every umpire likes that knee level strike, but he's really given that. So maybe Emma can start to live there and really take advantage.
That pitch inside, trying to jam Bowman with the inside pitch, and gonna get ball 2 there. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Bowman
at the shoulder of the umpire a little bit, but he seems to be all right.
She fouled that one off?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, he didn't signal.
She got a little piece of that one. I think it tipped Bella Finley's glove and kind of scraped him on the edge of the shoulder, but he appears to be fine, so maybe it just clipped him just a little bit.
So 2-2 count for Bowman now.
2 outs here.
And that ball hit down third base line, goes foul.
Barely missed the line there at the bag. That would have been a really big hit, maybe potentially score him and got a big lead again at second base by number 14. But she barely missed the bag there. Good for the Lady Jags. Hopefully Emma can take advantage if you have an extra opportunity to get this out.
2-2. Here's the pitch to Bowman. She's battling as she fouls that one off.
Now I'm looking right here. 2-2 count. Aggressive leadoff batter. I would probably try to get that outside valley there between the white line and the edge of the plate. Try to get her to chase here. See what Coach Edwards calls.
That ball hit hard. Linville looks like she's underneath it, and she is for out number 3.
That's a pretty solid hit for 2 strikes, but we got the out. That's what matters.
Yeah, that one made me a little nervous, can't lie. It came off the bat hard.
Yeah, Schutz got all that and seemed to just miss it. Linfield almost back there at the painted warning track we got.
Yeah, so North Laurel keeps Mercer from scoring there. It's been this is how the game's gone the whole time, flip-flop. Mercer with 2 runs in the top of the first, then no runs in the top of the second. Then they added 3 more runs in the top of the third, and North Laurel holds them to 0 runs in the top of the fourth. So North Laurel not in a terrible position. We've seen what can happen when their bats get hot, and that's what I'm expecting to see in this inning here.
Yeah, you got 4, 5, 6 coming up, 3 senior leaders. I'm really looking for, Jay, though, for them to really make an adjustment coming to the plate, not to crowd that white line, but to give themselves, a few inches to work with that inside pitch, because she is really taking advantage of jamming them and kind of stunning them there after she works outside. So hopefully they can make that adjustment and work to get their pitch after that.
Yeah, that's the thing about Ava Music, the freshman. She's done really well. I mean, I don't know that she's thrown a pitch down the middle. It's either been outside, inside, but she's so meticulous about where she goes to each batter. Like you mentioned, she has a really nice changeup from what we've seen, but doesn't throw it a whole lot. So as a batter, you just have to either step off the plate a little bit more, but then that means she's going to try to throw you outside, and you've got to get that bat out to make contact.
Yeah, no, I agree. And the past couple of games, from what I've seen the Lady Jags, they've really had pitchers who have had their kind of sweet spot and kind of pounded one side of the plate or other. So this is a good challenge for them to see a pitcher who likes to mix it up, throwing on both sides of the plate. So hopefully Bella Sizemore coming here can make a great adjustment in the bottom of the fourth and get on base for the Lady Jags here.
First pitch to Sizemore, high and outside. Ball 1.
It does appear like number 8, Bella Sizemore, has made the adjustment, so I feel like they have talked about that in the dugout. Her front foot was on the line in her first at bat, and we see her pretty off that white line.
Yeah, and I agree. That's where I would go if I was them. And right now, rough start for Music. 2 kind of wild pitches. Second one gets past the catcher and 2-0 count now. But because that outside pitch, you can let it drop back a little deeper into the zone and still be able to make contact on it.
Yeah, you can. Your approach kind of changed now. You're kind of sitting on that inside pitch.
Right there it was, and that one was way inside. If she was up on the line like she was the last few times, that probably would have caught her front kneecap.
But 3-0, good start here in the bottom of the fourth. North Laurel needs a base runner, so a walk would be a great scenario right here.
And this is probably going to be an automatic take right here if you're Sizemore. And Music.
Right down the pipe as expected.
So 3-1 count now. And there's that outside pitch.
Looks like number 8, Bella Sizemore, was a little didn't like that call. I don't know if we can't see something from back here, but she did not seem to be too happy with that call. But here we are, full count.
Well, the first 2 pitches of Sizemore, that's exactly where Music was going, but they were wild. Here's a 3-2 count, and that one also way out of the zone. So Sizemore going to take first base on 4 balls.
Pretty good start. That's what we need, base runners here. And, we've seen 3 wild pitches from Music, which is we've not seen in the past 3 innings. So I don't know if she's trying to attack the top of that zone or, struggling a little bit here, but took advantage here for the Lady Jags.
Yeah, and Adams at the plate now with the runner on first, no outs. First pitch to her is really high as well for ball 1, and I don't know if Music, she came in and pitched the last few innings, I believe, against South in the game before this. So only a freshman. She could be starting to experience some fatigue in the circle. Good pitch hit by Adams, and great job. We will take what we can get. The shortstop just could not get the ball out of her glove right there, and great job by Sizemore there.
Yeah, absolutely. And that really could have been an easy double play. That was a hard shot to shortstop and a nice flip. But it got stuck in her glove, so we got 2 runners on, no outs. Morgan Edwards coming up here.
Great start here for your Jags. Here's the pitch, and Morgan trying to get the bunt down. Whoa.
Catcher coming to the pitcher's mound on the big lead by Sizemore.
That was a called strike. Morgan pulled back because it was at her almost like her chest level, like above the North Laurel logo on her chest, and umpire calls it a strike.
Coach Edwards not happy with that call. That's a tough call. In this scenario, you got 2 runners on, no outs, and you want to get that bunt down, and you start off a 0-1 count.
Yeah, great job. Morgan gets the bunt down. That's exactly what we needed. You'd like for it to be a little bit to the left, probably a little bit more to the right, one way or the other. But regardless, she did what she was supposed to do. That's a sack bunt.
Right. And sack bunt, it's a little more pressure than you people think about. But when you need to get that bunt down and that's your job at the plate, it makes it a little challenging.
Especially when the pitcher is trying to jam you inside every play. An inside pitch
it looked like
is the
she
hardest.
got a little jammed there.
She
but
did.
She was able to get it down.
That is the hardest pitch to try and bunt. Ooh, Finley nearly got that one past. Oh, gosh. Yes, Bella Sizemore. Nice heads-up base running by the Lady Jags, and Sizemore stops halfway down the baseline. Pitcher saw her, and Sizemore knew she was too far. She had to just keep going and somehow slid around that tag.
She did. She had one option, either to keep going and maybe hope for a bad throw or getting a rundown, and you never know how that goes. But heads-up base running by Ellie Adams to continue on, and she was able to advance to third base. So now you got 2 runners in scoring position as Morgan was able to advance this. Who we got at second? Bella Finley was able to advance, my bad, to second base. So 2 runners in scoring position here with 1 out.
Yeah, Finley got to second after the bunt by Morgan there. Linville gets a piece of that one, fouls it off.
Again, pounding on the inside part of that plate, and Lady Jags are still getting their hands stuck just a little bit. Anxious to see what Coach Edwards was going to call here.
I can't wait to go back later tonight and watch that replay.
It was close for sure.
It was.
The catcher seemed pretty shocked that
I know.
She was called safe. So hard to see from our angle, but glad we're on this side of it, and it got the Lady Jags on the board.
And honestly, Bella, if you go back and watch this, I was sitting here thinking, what is she doing? That's what was going through my head.
Bella Sizemore right there. Like, who else would you?
Exactly. But we'll take what we can get. North Laurel now within 3 runs of tying this up. And Linville, she's battling hard there. Fouls that ball off and out of play.
Again, 1-2. As a hitter, you're really expecting her to come inside on you. I would give probably a good amount away from that plate, at least so I can foul it off.
Yeah, and she's got to be ready to turn on this pitch quick and at least get it into play. There she does. To the shortstop. Shortstop looking for 4. We've got a pickle now, but Finley there at the base. And Adams going to be tagged out. And now Finley in the pickle. And, man, that's just...
Oh, a double play. 2 pickles. Maybe just a little better heads-up base run. And I know when you see a ball hit to shortstop, but...
You have to know that shortstop has a chance of going to 4 there, and you can't run all the way to third base,
Because they seem like pretty, heads-up players. That they seem to be looking to attack that head runner as they had on Bella Sizemore with the ball hit to the pitcher. So, man, just 2 big errors there by the Lady Jags on the base path and took away some potential scoring opportunities.
Yeah, so North Laurel heads into the top of the 5th inning, trailing 5-2 to Mercer County. We'll step aside and be right back on the Jaguar Broadcasting Network.
Gondolier Italian Restaurant of London is a proud supporter of North Laurel Athletics. Locally owned and operated, Doyle Jones and his family and staff use only the freshest ingredients with the largest menu selection around. Here are just a few of the things folks are saying about Gondolier. Fast, friendly service. Everything was delicious. While another satisfied customer says great service and staff. The food is amazing and has yet to disappoint. GondelierofLondon.com. North Laurel and Gondolier are a winning team.
At London Power Equipment, power means service. Power means protection. And most of all, power means power. Power. With technicians certified in Briggs, Kawasaki, Kohler, and Honda. And we offer for sale brands like Grasshopper, Simplicity, Echo, Husqvarna, DR, and Generac. We service and repair most outdoor power equipment brands. And if it's work gear, we've got you covered too. With arborist, forestry, and lineman gear. At 1680 Highway 192 East, we're open weekdays 8 to 5 with options for for financing. We are locally owned and operated. Find LPE on Facebook or phone 606-389-5535 for London Power Equipment.
All right, so that was number 1, Natalie Johnson, who led off for the Titans. She was slapping, hit a little ground ball to Ellie, and Ellie throws her out at first base for out number 1. Now,
huge out coming at the top of the lineup.
Yes, and now that brings the pitcher, number 18, Ava Music, to the plate. One 0 count, and she fouls that pitch off and out of play.
Looks like she did not want to commit to that. It looks like she started to swing and tried to pull back, but did not get that in time. And Emma was able to get a strike there.
1-1 count now. No runners on. 1 out. And swing and a miss by Music for strike 2. So Emma heading the count early here.
1-2. Hopefully she can get this off the plate or up in the zone and try to get Music to chase right here.
Looking for that pitch right there at the bottom of the strike zone, just a little low. Count is now 2-2.
Still ahead as a pitcher.
Music fouls that one off out of play again, so she's battling here at the plate.
And as expected, probably the best hitter on their roster coming in the 3 hole. So hopefully our defense is ready because she is really attacking this 2-2 count. Ready probably to hit anything that comes across the plate unless just super out of the zone.
And it looks like she got jammed on that pitch. And I just heard her yell over to the dugout. That was the changeup. So she was way out on her front foot there. Fouls it off.
That's not a pitch we see Carl throw a lot. So to be able to see her kind of mix in that changeup here to one of their best batters was a great usage of that.
All right, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Oh, man.
It was a close pitch right there on the outside part of that plate.
Ooh. He's been calling that on us.
They have been getting that. Bella Finley kind of stuck it there just for a few minutes.
But regardless, 3-2 pitch. Great job by Sizemore. Again, Music just was a little bit all over the place at bat, and even on that pitch, hits it weird with a weird spin, and Sizemore goes behind first base to make the grab.
She did. She's seen a lot of pitches, but she couldn't get all of the ball that whole entire bat, and Sizemore was able to make the play to get 2 outs with your 4 hole coming up.
Yeah, this is number 19, Mia Floro, catcher. First pitch to her is called strike 1, and she doesn't like the call, but I mean,
it looked pretty close to that last pitch, so hopefully Emma can take advantage of them really not liking that outside pitch.
Right there, I think that's a rise ball that Carl might be throwing.
It could be, and maybe, sometimes with young pitchers when they're trying to learn to throw a screwball, you kind of have the same hand motion, kind of the same spin, and sometimes they'll screw that screwball naturally into a rise. So maybe it's doing a little bit of both.
That time misses high. 1-2 count now. And then tries to go outside there. Can't hit her spot. So 2 balls, 2 strikes for Floro now. She's got no runners on and 2 outs here in the top of the 5th inning. Oh, man.
Man. And that looked like inside the corner of the plate there. I'm not sure. It had to miss low because it was on the plate. Man, I really liked that pitch.
Full count situation. Here's the 3-2 pitch, and Floro fouls it off into the back of the net.
This would be a huge out right here for the Lady Jags to be able to go in the dugout to hit with no runners on. I don't know if they've had an inning yet where they've had 3 up, 3 down.
And that misses high for a ball 4. So Flora going to take first base.
Now batting for the Titans, number 28, Izzy Carlton.
This is the first baseman now at the plate, number 28, Izzy Carlton.
If I'm not mistaken, she had a great rip to the left side. She got an up and in pitch that she really took advantage of. So
Yep.
hopefully they can keep this ball down in the zone and potentially outside to make her really work for it.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Her last at bat was that line drive over Sage's head and the one that got past Sam's. She fouls the first pitch off. How tall do you think she is?
I would say every bit of 5'10". Well, I'm a little taller than Bella Finley, and she's a
Hits it in that same spot. McClure fields it, and great play at first by Edwards.
And again, Morgan's one of the best first basemen I've roughly ever played with. She really hangs with any kind of throw wherever it is. So she really helps out the Lady Jags sometimes.
So North Laurel, great inning there. I believe that was, we had the walked runner, but was able to get that third out on the next at bat and holds Mercer County from scoring any more runs. So they trail 5-2 here. Looks like music's staying in the circle for the Titans.
Hopefully the Lady Jags again can come in with the same approach to get off of that plate and really make her work. Especially as we've seen quite a few balls out of the zone in that last inning. For whatever reason that we didn't see in the beginning of the game, but Lady Jags hold on scoreless in the last 2 innings, so hopefully they can keep that going and be able to put runs on the board themselves.
Yeah, and it looks like we are 9-1-2, I believe.
Great spot for the Lady Jags. I feel like, especially going into the bottom of the 5th, give them that same order to come in the bottom of the 7th if that is needed. Hopefully it is not. But hopefully they can really take advantage of right here in the 5th inning against the Lady Titans as they're down 5-2 with only 2 hits. Very unusual for your Lady Jags.
So this is Keen's second at bat this evening. She hit, I believe, a single.
She did a good hit
middle.
right up the middle.
Yep. So excited to see if she can continue where she left off. First pitch to her, high for ball 1. That inside pitch gets her jammed, but
it clipped the inside part of the bag.
It did. So that is twice Keen has gotten on base in 2 at-bats tonight.
Number 21.
That bounced off the front of the bag into the 6th hole position towards the shortstop. But she was able to get on. And again, we're in a position where the Lady Jags take anything to have base runners.
Yeah, that hit off the handle of the bat and had such a weird spin. I think the third baseman thought it might go. Ooh. Well, that's a tough call because she squared the bunt, and I really don't know that she pulled.
I was about to say that too. It looks like she was going to trot down the first base line until they told her to come back. But to me, it looked like her shoulders were, still
all
pretty square all the way towards the pitcher. But yet again, we're on this side of the ball, so good for Lady Jags to have your 2-hole coming up with no outs, runners in first and second.
Carl at the plate now rips one, but that's fair. Or I'm sorry, foul. I wish it was fair.
That would be nice. Tie the ball game up here.
She definitely has the power and ability to do it.
Now, I know she's hot, Jay, but I may be looking for a sneaky bunt here to get runners in second and third and get your 3 and 4 hole up to hit.
I like that. I like playing small ball like that. But also, Carl, just such a powerful hitter. Maybe if we had 1 out, I could see us being desperate enough to do that with Carl at the plate, but she's such a good hitter. I think it would be hard to kind of hold her back from maybe hitting a clutch ball in the gap here. 1-1 count. Ooh, that off-speed pitch. I thought she was going to sit on it and drive it, but I think
Chose to wait there. Which,
yeah,
as
it
a
was a little
hitter,
outside. Yeah.
as a hitter, you're not gonna, waste your one swing for a potential hit on a changeup when you don't have 2 strikes. So I see your approach there.
1-2 pitch is way inside.
Again, music has not changed her approach this entire game. She is really keeping the Lady Jags off that plate, trying to come into them every time she's got them down into the count.
Here's the 2-2 pitch. Ooh, and Carl holds off. That ball is bobbled. Keen, yeah, she did. She slid in underneath that tag at third, and that is going to be nice stolen base there by Keen, and Katie Sams will take second as well.
That was a great heads-up play. One little bobble able to advance them now into scoring position. So Emma Carl's approach is really just to get it on the right side of that field. Worst case scenario, get an RBI here in the air for Keene to score.
Full count situation here. 3-2 pitch, and it's inside. Woo! Carl might have caught a good break right there. That's a good looking pitch, and you can tell the catcher real frustrated.
Again, catchers on both sides of the field tonight, Lady Jags and Lady Titans. Catchers on both sides have been pretty upset with some of the calls. They've kind of stuck it there a little longer, but kind of tight there in the bottom of the zone.
Yeah, that's part of the game, though. Every umpire behind the plate's going to have a little bit different feel for the strike zone, and you just have to, as a pitcher, you got to try to get used to that and find your spots as the game goes on. But North Laurel in a really good position right here. There are no outs here in the bottom of the fifth, and they have bases loaded with, I believe, Sage McClure at the plate.
And Bella Sosmer on deck. The thing is with Lady Jags, they need to approach these at-bats with a really good aggressive mentality. This is the opportunity for 2 big senior leaders, your middle infielders, to come up with big hits to potentially tie or yet, Jalen, take over this game.
Yeah, I mean, Sage is the go-ahead run here at the plate. And, yeah, they're pitching to her low. That ball was inside right at the knees for strike one.
But this is exactly where the Lady Jags want to be with Sage McClure and Bella Sizemore coming up with bases loaded and no outs.
Nice hit by Sage.
Hit.
It's a gapper. Keen's going to score. Sam's going to score. It goes off the wall. Carl's going to score, and an easy stand-up double by Sage McClure scores
and
3
she
runs.
tied this ball game.
She did.
Again, as I said, that's exactly where Coach Edwards and Lady Jags wanted to be, with Sage McClure up at the plate with bases loaded, no outs, and even Bella Sizemore coming now with Sage in scoring position.
We have 5 runs on the evening, and 4 of them have been batted in by Sage McClure. So that just goes to show she is a defense's worst nightmare when she steps into the box.
Yeah, and again, she struggled in that first game, but here she is stepping up when it matters.
Ooh. Sizemore hits that one off of her foot. That's gonna sting a little bit.
Does a little dancey dance down the line. Coach Edwards going to give her a little pat on the back.
She's probably grateful, though, that it hit off her knee as it was going right to the third baseman and probably going to be an easy out.
Shakes her head to the umpire. Seems to be all right. She steps in the batter's box with 0-1 count.
No outs still. She has a runner in scoring position on second. Gets a piece of that one. Second baseman bobbles it. Can't run it out, but she will advance Carl to third base, and that's what you want.
Again, great hard hit. She got her outside pitch. Great approach. She almost got on back there. But again, here she had moved a runner into second base, only 60 feet away from the go-ahead run.
Yeah.
As Ellie Adams comes up with only 1 out. So yet again, a great position to have a sac fly here.
Yeah, and I misspoke. That is McClure who advances to third, not Carl. So Adams at the plate, 1 out, runner on third. That pitch to her is outside and called for strike 1.
I thought that was a little outside, Jay, there, but 0-1 count here on Ellie Adams.
Yeah, I think both teams are kind of on offense and defense just struggling with the little bit of inconsistency in the strike zone. There it is. Ellie Adams, nice bunt. And
she
easy.
scored it.
Yeah, she did. I thought for sure there would at least be a play at the plate, but kind of a lofty throw right there by the pitcher to the first baseman.
Again, Jay, I am extremely shocked that they did not try to make that play on stage because that's what they've done 2 times. They got threw it at Bella Salzburg coming down the third base pass, and then even got Ellie on the run home. So I'm really shocked that they did not attack that lead runner there.
I agree. Get in the gap. Nice job, Morgan Edwards, keeping this 2-out rally going.
Again, the Lady Jags has come alive here in the bottom of the 5th. Exactly how us perfect broadcasters predicted it.
Exactly. You're exactly right. We did. We were able to score 4 runs in this inning here, and we take the lead 6-5 over Mercer County. This has been a really fun ball game to watch so far. We hope the Lady Jags keep it up at the plate. Spella Finley steps to the box. First pitch to her is ball 1.
Seems like number 18 is not getting the clip of that inside of that plate like she got in the beginning of the game. So hopefully Lady Jags can at least take advantage. Maybe be kind of picky here going into the box.
That second pitch low as well, and this is the second time around for a lot of these batters, and they're starting to get a little more comfortable seeing it out of the hand of music. So Finley heading the count, 2 balls, no strikes. Runner on first. Ooh, and she drives that one just foul.
Great contact, and you could tell too. She was expecting her pitch, and she was able to jump on that. I think that was great contact, great swing. 2-1 going in here for Bella Finley.
Ooh, and that pitch just at the bottom of the strike zone for strike 2.
2-2. I know she just come inside with that, but again, I'm looking for her to beam the inside part of that plate, or maybe catch her up in the zone.
Two pitch. He turns on it. Backhanded play by the third baseman, and a nice out at first for the 3rd out. All right, so your Lady Jacks come roaring back here, score 4 runs in that inning, and take the lead 6-5 over Mercer County. You're listening to Jalen Black and Emily Sizemore, and we are coming to you from North Laurel Nation, home of the Jaguar Broadcasting Network on Facebook, and WJTE 98.5 FM, The Light of London. We'll step aside and be right back.
The partnership between the Martin family and Peterbilt has been proven to be great. You see, Martin's has a reputation of doing things the right way, and Martin's plus Peterbilt is a winning combination. For more than 50 years, Martin's has provided unmatched service and parts availability. Locally, they support our area youth in every way possible, including the 13th Region Tournament. Martin's Peterbilt, I-75 at exit 38, Martin's Truck Parts, and Martin Peterbilt. They build relationships that last.
All right. We are now heading into the top of the 6th inning. Lady Jags lead 6-5 over the Titans, and we're going to have a substitute here.
Before the inning starts, special shout out to Richard Dalrymple all the way in Africa, across the ocean over there. 3 a.m. in the morning there.
Well, he's up early for this game. But this is number 11, the senior Annika Campbell, into to bat here. And a little late there on that swing. Swing and miss for strike 1.
Yeah, and outside the zone there.
That one way outside. Good snag by Finley behind the plate. But Annika Campbell has only been a hitter in 3 games this season, and she has no hits on 3 at-bats with 1 run batted in. That pitch going to be ball 2.
Where did she sub into the lineup, Jay?
I believe she subbed in for
Win still, and
Yep. That pitch to Campbell low, so we've got a full count situation here to start the top of the 6th inning.
Yeah, McCarl really needs to take advantage of the substitution here and get an out for the Lady Jags here as they take the lead in the bottom of the 5th.
And that was a drop third strike situation. Campbell wasn't aware of it, and Finley goes all the way to the backstop and still throws her out at first.
And she seemed to be a little confused that she did not know that she could run after she did not swing on the drop third strike. So maybe if she had realized that a little sooner, she was at the bag pretty quickly. But again, an out for the Lady Jags in the top of the 6th.
So now up to bat number 22, KJ Sutton. She has no runners on, 1 out. First pitch to her, Carl paints that outside corner for strike 1. Sutton fouls that pitch off behind the plate.
Same approach there by Carl. You've seen her attack that outside corner after Sutton didn't swing at the first pitch strike. So looking for her to kind of move out from the outside corner, but keep working that as Carl comes with 0-2 count.
Another ball fouled off out of play by Sutton.
Again, Jay, these Lady Titans have really worked our pitchers today. They're super aggressive. We've seen quite a few foul balls. Again, they don't take a lot of pitches.
And that pitch low, going to be ball 1.
Good 0-2 count.
And ground ball hit to Adams. And she makes the play at first for out number 2.
Lady Jags seems to look much better in the field. Cleaning up a few errors that we've seen in the beginning of this ball game. Again, bats can really give you some energy, and we're seeing that in the field right now. As Lady Jags got 2 outs, no runners on in the top of the 6th.
This is now number 14, Emery Thompson, who hits one foul and out of play down the third base line. So an 0-1 count now for Thompson. And she'll hit a pop fly out left field, and that's Katie Keene coming in and making the grab for out number 3. So great inning there by the Lady Jags. Would like to see them come in here and put some more runs on the board.
Yeah, that's exactly what you wanted. Again, that's their third straight scoreless inning for the Lady Titans in comparison to the first half of this game. Hopefully Lady Jags can capitalize off these last few innings and pick back up where they started in the bottom of the 5th. Because you still want a couple extra runs for cushion.
Yeah.
1-run game makes you, it puts a little pressure on your pitcher and your defense. So hopefully they can come in and get a few.
Looks like leading us off this inning is number 10, Lucy Jo Linville.
8-9-1, pretty good spot for Lady Jags to be here going into the bottom of the 6th. Hopefully can start another run.
All right, I believe
Now batting,
Ransdale checks back into the game
number 10,
for Campbell.
Lucy Jo Linville.
All right, I believe Lucy popped up to the first baseman in her first at bat.
Yeah, she was still getting jammed there by that inside pitch. Hopefully she can make the adjustment here.
She fouls that first pitch off and out of play. 0-1 count here. And a little dribbler. Catcher's got to field it and make the throw, and that's a tough play. But they get the out at first.
It is, and to be honest, Jay, I did not even hear the contact on the bat there.
No, I think it hit right off the home plate. I don't know. That was a really strange hit right there, but really nice play by the catcher. She had to come out
super
and
active there.
she threw that over Linville's head.
Hopefully Katie King can stay hot right here.
First pitch to her, low and inside, ball 1. Second pitch, Keene fouls off out of play.
Seems like her barrel just got underneath that outside pitch. Wasn't able to take it that way.
So 1-1 count here. No runners on, 1 out for Keene. North Laurel leads 6-5 in the bottom of the 6th. That pitch called for ball 2. Good at bat here as Keene ahead in the count. 3 balls, 1 strike.
Again, we've not seen Music throw this many balls till late here in the ball game. So again, Jay, I might agree with you that she might be experiencing some fatigue as she finished last game and almost completed this game.
Keene battling, fouls that one off down the third base line. So that'll bring us to a full count situation. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
And here again, you're looking forward to come right in on the hands of Katie Keene. She's had a consistent, pretty pattern here the whole entire game.
Great job by Keene, able to foul that one off and stay alive here at the plate. So still a full count. No runners on, 1 out. Here's the 3-2 pitch. And Music tried to get that off speed, but it was low for ball 4. So Keene will take first base.
It's a great at bat by King. I know in a full count scenario, it's really tough as a hitter to take that last ball 4 when you got 2 strikes. So great job by number 11 there.
All right, back at the top of the lineup. Center fielder number 21, Katie Sams at the plate. First pitch to her, low, ball 1. I know she started off the game with that triple. What did she do to get on base? Her second at bat. Can you remember?
I do not remember. I don't think her second at bat she might have.
Oh, that one's hit hard. That's got a chance. See ya, ball.
Here.
Big time homer there. Katie Sams, that's going to be a 2-run homer. North Laurel takes the lead, 7-5.
And again, that's exactly what we talked about in the middle of this inning, is that's what the Lady Jags wanted. They needed a few extra cushion runs, and I believe Katie Sams just did the job as she ripped that one up the middle to get the home run.
Yeah, I mean, she got every piece of that ball right there. We knew from the minute it hit the bat that it had a chance. It was deep center field.
Jaguars, number 4.
Yeah, I think Music's just struggling with fatigue here. That she just left that ball hanging too far over the middle of the plate, and Sams took advantage of it. So North Laurel leads 8-5 now here in the bottom of the 6th, and Emma Carl will step to the plate.
Yeah, we've not really seen her miss her spots. I feel like we had the first few batters here.
Great job by Carl. Wanted to swing on that high pitch. Holds off. Carl fouls that ball off to the net. So 1-1 count for her.
Again, the Lady Jags are in a comfortable situation here. 8-5 in the bottom of the 6th. Just one out.
Yeah, still plenty of opportunity to put some more runs on the board. Right there, that pitch, wild and outside for ball 2.
Mentality of the hitter here, really not trying to help number 18 in the circle. Find a ball in his zone, be able to drive it, but not helping her.
That ball hit hard, but going to be called foul.
Dugout seems to get a little bit louder than we've heard on the entire game.
Yeah, I think this is the second time they've gotten loud. The first one we took the lead, 6-5. I could hear them a little bit, but they're on their feet now. And Carl continuing to battle. She'll foul that one off.
Yeah, they are getting much louder, Jay.
Yeah.
Which is needed, you know. So.
Yeah, right now they're trying to heckle music a little bit in the circle. And right there, Carl going to wear it and take her base.
Again, Musica did a great job in the first 3.5 innings, really painting the corners, hitting her spots. But here, since North Laurel's made their big run in the bottom of the 5th and 6th, we've seen her kind of struggle there.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's as much as her struggling to hit the spots as it is us adjusting and adapting as the game goes on. You know, we're entering, I believe, the third. This is everyone's third time going through here, seeing music pitch it, and that over time, overseeing it, more you see it, the better you get at reading that pitch. And I think that's what we've done a good job of as well.
No, I absolutely agree. They've scooted off that play, like we talked about, making that adjustment after they went through the lineup once. And she wasn't able to be as successful in these last couple innings by jamming them or get that stunned inside pitch because they're so far on the plate. So good job there by the Lady Jags.
1-1 count for McClure. 1 out and a runner on first. Carl is going to steal, and she dives in head first underneath the tag and is safe.
That appeared from this angle to be a pretty close play.
Yeah.
That ball seemed to get to the back pretty quickly and was on target. So
I like that head first dive, though. You know, you lose no momentum when you can lay out head first like that. Great job by Carl picking up a stolen base, and now we have a runner in scoring position. 1-2 count here from McClure. Lays off that high pitch.
Again, Sage up at the plate with a runner in scoring position. A perfect opportunity for the Lady Jags to put another run on the board as we only have 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th.
Here's the 2-2 pitch. McClure drives that one. Big bounce. Shortstop comes up gunning. And Carl going to advance to third. So we'll take it. Sage, that ball was hit really hard just right to the shortstop. She made a great play, but great base running by Emma Carl.
Yeah, great job by Sage. Good hit. And, you know, at the end of the day, it's about moving runners and scoring runs. So now you have your 4-hole up, Bella Sizemore, with a runner in scoring position. Hopefully she can get one through the gap here.
First pitch to Sizemore's high for ball 1.
Hopefully Lady Jags are paying attention. It seems like the last few batters, she's had a high fastball miss at the top of the zone.
Ooh, and umpire calls that pitch strike 1 on the outside corner, and catcher comes up gunning, trying to backpick Carl at third. That's a risky play right there. As a catcher, you have to have a lot of confidence, you know, to have a runner on third and try to go for that out there. Sizemore all over that one. Will foul it off. 1-2 count.
Again, Jay, I think you go with the same approach. She's got you down 2 strikes. She's probably going to try to get you in on that inside corner, especially here where she's struggling. I feel like she might go into her comfort spot here to try to win this battle.
I believe you're correct. Here's the 1-2 pitch, and it's wild. Gets past the catcher. Carl read it well, and she slides in with ease and adds another run for North Laurel.
Which, best case scenario, whatever happens here for Sizemore, hopefully a hit, but you got the runner that was left on base in, so now you have bases cleared and we got 2 outs.
Yeah, absolutely. And as a batter, that takes a lot of the pressure off of you, and you can focus in on just making good contact here. That's what Sizemore does, as she rips a nice single up the middle to the center fielder.
She was able to get all that, Jay, and I feel like that was an inside pitch, but again, they've made that adjustment by getting off the plate, and that inside pitch, they're really getting on the barrel. We've seen quite a few up the middle hits.
Yeah,
Great single by Sizemore. Would have scored the run, but she got a single there with 2 outs, 9-5. Lady Jags on top.
so this has been a quick turnaround here for your Lady Jags. Able to put some runs up on the board. And Ellie Adams is going to add on to that. She hits a nice shot in the right center gap.
And I'm expecting Sizemore to score here. It's going to be a quick play at the plate.
Oh.
And the shortstop holds it in midfield.
Nice single RBI there by Ellie Adams.
That was a great hit. And Jay, again, I feel like towards the end of this game, they've kind of lost their defensive aggressiveness.
Yeah.
And not really throwing at those go-ahead runners, which we kind of seen in the beginning of the game.
I agree. Looks like they've lost some confidence when North Laurel finally started putting the ball in play. Edwards at the plate now, fouls the first pitch off.
Again, they've scored 8 of their 10 runs in the past 2 innings. That does take some energy out of the Lady Titans here.
Oh, 1 count here for Morgan. Ooh, and that was a nice outside pitch. It was able to get her bat on it, fouls it off. But now she's going to have to battle. No balls, 2 strikes here on her. And, got to choke up on that bat and be smart right here. If it's close, you got to try to make contact. Great eye there. That pitch high.
Good eye, because that was not out of the zone, but it was at the North Laurel written across Morgan Edwards' chest. So that was a great eye by her. Good batter there. Decision.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Ooh, and Morgan just a little indecisive right there, it seems, and she'll swing and miss for strike 3 and out 3. So overall, great inning right there. North Laurel put up 4 more runs on the board, and they now have a 10-5 cushion over the Lady Titans. So we'll step aside, take a quick break as we head into the top of the final inning here. You're listening to Jalen Black and Emily Sizemore on the Jaguar Broadcasting Network.
For quality casework since 1975, look no further than Stidham Cabinet Incorporated at 471 Nursery Road in Corbin. If you want experience, expertise, and dedication, you've found it at Stidham Cabinet. Come create your dream design by visiting our 2,000 square foot showroom, or visit StidhamCabinet.com to see a list of all of our name brand products to choose from. That's Stidham Cabinet, 471 Nursery Road in Corbin. Phone number 606-528-3648 or 800-425-0899.
The partnership between the Martin family and Peterbilt has been proven to be great. You see, Martin's has a reputation of doing things the right way, and Martin's plus Peterbilt is a winning combination. For more than 50 years, Martin's has provided unmatched service and parts availability. Locally, they support our area youth in every way possible, including the 13th Region Tournament. Martin's Peterbilt, I-75 at exit 38, Martin's Truck Parts, and Martin Peterbilt. They build relationships that last.
All right, so North Laurel heads into the top of the 7th inning with a 10-5 lead over Mercer County. Leading off for the Lady Titans is number 34, Ella Davis. First pitch to her. Outside for ball 1.
Again, the Lady Jags are 3 outs away from taking this win over the Lady Titans, especially with starting the game down 5-1.
2-0 count now for Davis. Carl gets her to go for that outside pitch. The ball was high and outside, and Davis bid on it. 2-1 count.
Again, the Lady Titans have been held scoreless since the 3rd inning.
That pitch called ball 3, so 3-1 count now. Ooh. Guess that pitch misses a little high there, so Davis gonna take first base on 4 balls. And that'll bring us back to the top of the lineup. That's the right fielder, number 44, Jaylee Bowling.
Again, the Jags. Not too much pressure. You're up 5 runs. That run on first doesn't technically matter. So not too much pressure on the defense here, but you want to get out of this inning as quickly as you can to secure the win.
I believe we're starting to see the fatigue set in for Carl here.
Yeah, this is her second game today that she's pitched, I guess, so this will make roughly 10 innings as she come in the 4th inning.
That was a good pitch right there.
Hopefully see the double.
Sizemore, tag.
Oh,
and
we got
gets
the
her
double
out.
play.
Nice play there by second baseman Bella Sizemore. Got the tag. Threw Bowman out at first. And
heads up play there by the second baseman Bella Sizemore because you had your leadoff batter up, which was a ton of speed. So if Bella would have made the flip to Sage at second base, I don't think they would have time to turn the double play. So great heads up play there to be able to tag and make that throw.
Now this is Natalie Johnson looking to slap, and that pitch was high and inside, gets past Finley.
Did that go off her bat?
No, that went over off of Finley's glove there. I'm curious to see. I'm looking right now. This is Natalie Johnson. She fouls that ball off. She every time at the plate tonight, she's either try to lay down a bunt, and when she hasn't, she has done the slapping motion. That's not something you see a whole lot, but it is something a few years ago that really started to blow up, especially when travel ball was teaching these lefties with speed, how to get out of the box quickly.
Yeah, and you really started to see that progress as we got older. I know slapping wasn't huge when we were that young, but as you've seen as we got older, it really became a huge part of the game.
I mean, she has a batting average of .327, which is that's not bad.
Especially for a slapper, left-handed batter. She's probably in that 2-hole to kind of cause some chaos, put down the bunts to move runners. So that average, we don't know, but that could be a little deceiving based on the role she's in that 2-hole.
I completely agree. She's 2-2 count here, and that pitch low. So full count situation here.
Again, I have to agree, Jay. I think we're seeing a little bit of Emma Carl's fatigue coming in here, but we're 1 out away and 1 strike away potentially ending this ball game.
Right there, Carl just missing low there on the zone. So Johnson will take first base on ball 4. And the Titans' best hitter is now up to the plate, Ava Music.
Worst case scenario, she hits it over the fence where Lady Jags are still in a good position. High and out of the zone there by Carl.
One-zero count. Music fouls that ball off into the net for strike 1.
She's really struggled all game to be able to attack and get all of that outside pitch. So look for the pitching staff of North Laurel to really continue to attack that outside corner.
Again, that outside pitch, she's really underneath it there and a little late on it.
Here we are again, 1 out away, 1 strike away from this ballgame being over and the Lady Jags securing a pretty good comeback win here in the John Hooker Memorial Classic.
That ball hit off the handle, foul. So Carl, despite being a little tired here, done a really good job on music right now. Kind of pitching a lot outside, but that inside pitch right there jammed music up. Tried to go back inside, but that one's going to be low for ball 2.
Again, it has to give you some confidence as a pitcher within a circle to have such a great defense behind you, to know when you maybe experience a little fatigue, miss a spot, that hopefully your defense can make up for you.
And music ground ball, nice snag by Adams, and gets the third and final out of this ball game. Lady Jags found themselves down 5-1 at one point and was able to put up 1 run and then 4 in the next inning and 4 in the inning after that, and come back and secure the 10-5 victory over Mercer County.
Again, that was a great bounce back from this morning. They started off hot and got stunned in about the 4th inning up here as Montgomery scored 10 runs in 1 inning. So for them to come out a little bit slow and, not give up once they got down 5-1 to secure this win by scoring 8 runs in just 2 innings was really good response from the Lady Jags.
Absolutely. So we will step aside here, take a break for a few minutes. We are going to go get head coach Chris Edwards and your player of the game, and hopefully bring them back for a post-game interview. You're listening to Jalen Black and Emily Sizemore on the Jaguar Broadcasting Network.
At London Power Equipment, power means service, power means protection, and most of all, power means power. Power. With technicians certified in Briggs, Kawasaki, Kohler, and Honda. And we offer for sale brands like Grasshopper, Simplicity, Echo, Husqvarna, DR, and Generac. We service and repair most outdoor power equipment brands. And if it's work gear, we've got you covered too. With arborist, forestry, and lineman gear. At 1680 Highway 192 East, we're open weekdays 8 to 5. With options for financing. We are locally owned and operated. Find LPE on Facebook or phone 606-389-5535 for London Power Equipment. The partnership between the Martin family and Peterbilt has been proven to be great. You see, Martin's has a reputation of doing things the right way, and Martin's plus Peterbilt is a winning combination. For more than 50 years, Martin's has provided unmatched service and parts availability. Locally, they support our area youth in every way possible, including the 13th Region Tournament, Martin's Peterbilt, I-75 at exit 38, Martin's Truck Parts, and Martin Peterbilt. They build relationships that last.
For quality casework since 1975, look no further than Stidham Cabinet Incorporated at 471 Nursery Road in Corbin. If you want experience, expertise, and dedication, you've found it at Stidham Cabinet. Come create your dream design by visiting our 2,000 square foot showroom, or visit StidhamCabinet.com to see a list of all of our name brand products to choose from. That's Stidham Cabinet, 471 Nursery Road in Corbin. Phone number 606-528-3648 or 800-425-0899.
The partnership between the Martin family and Peterbilt has been proven to be great. You see, Martin's has a reputation of doing things the right way, and Martin's plus Peterbilt is a winning combination. For more than 50 years, Martin's has provided unmatched service and parts availability. Locally, they support our area youth in every way possible, including the 13th Region Tournament, Martin's Peterbilt, I-75 at exit 38, Martin's Truck Parts, and Martin Peterbilt. They build relationships that last. At Liza Joyner Designs, we share your distinctive vision for your custom home interior design. At Liza Joyner, check out our large selection of Mackenzie Childs. Enjoy browsing all the brands that help us create our designs at lizajoyner.com. or find us on Facebook and in person at 210 North Broad Street off Main in London. Open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. Phone 606-657-4400 for Liza Joyner Design.
You have found source. It's the Light of London 98.5 for the old and new. And somewhere in between, we are the Light of London for the very best in country and southern gospel.
We are the Light of London 98.5, providing you with some of the very best gospel music around. And you can take us with you anywhere you go. For more information, visit us at www.lightoflondon.com.
All right, welcome back, everyone, to the Jaguar Broadcasting Network on North Laurel Nation Facebook and WJT 98.5 FM, the Light of London. Emily and I are joined now by our player of the game, Miss Katie Sams. Katie, you had a great evening at the plate tonight. Very first at bat, you ripped one down the line and ended up getting a triple there. And then obviously the highlight of the night was the 3-run bomb over the center field fence. Just talk about your confidence as the leadoff hitter and stepping into the batter's box.
Yeah, I've been in a tad bit of a slump, so this was a good game to get back on it, hopefully, and continue out through the rest of the season.
Yeah, absolutely. And this game overall was a good lesson. You guys got down 5-1, and it's been a long day of softball for both you and Mercer County. But regardless, your team found a way to get the bats going and battle back. Just talk about the grittiness, of this team and especially of this senior group this year.
Oh yeah, hard workers. I've played with 4 of these seniors my whole life, and they're great. We're gonna miss them real big next year, I guess. But
yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah, so I know being in the leadoff batter's position, it comes with a lot of pressure. You're the one seeing the pitcher for the first time. And me and Jay noticed that for the first 3 innings there, you guys were really getting jammed inside, and she was taking advantage of that inside corner. So what was the adjustment that you guys seen in the dugout going into that 4th inning?
Chris, we had a gathering outside the dugout where he told us, throwing screwballs, you need to get inside the ball and try to hit it, get early on it, don't get jammed, and that's what we did.
Yeah, we noticed that as we seen you guys kind of scoot off the plate a little there and really took advantage. Just going and talking about, going forward, you got senior night Monday, you bring a lot of emotions, and wrapping up towards the end of the year, kind of what's your guys' mentality? How are you guys as a team right now, and what are your guys' focuses?
Our focus is just the game ahead of us, not try to look too far ahead. We go district first and then region and then hopefully in state tournament.
Absolutely. All right. Well, congrats, Katie, on being our player of the game. And we'll step aside for another quick break and hopefully hear from head coach Chris Edwards.
Hi, my name is Mike Black, the principal at North Laurel High School. I'm joined by Athletic Director Ethan Everso, and we're excited that you've tuned in to the Jaguar Broadcasting Network. The Jaguar Broadcasting Network was a dream of mine to be able to showcase the talents of not only our student athletes, but our students who are actively involved in creating commercials, working behind the scenes in video production, and we're excited to see where this venture leads.
If you want to see your name or business come across the screen in one of our commercials done by our awesome sports marketing class, feel free to reach out to the school. You can contact me via email or via phone. We can make that happen for you. Thank you for tuning in to the Jaguar Broadcasting Network.
Go Jags.
Gondolier Italian Restaurant of London is a proud supporter of North Laurel Athletics. Locally owned and operated, Doyle Jones and his family and staff use only the freshest ingredients with the largest menu selection around. Here are just a few of the things folks are saying about Gondolier. Fast, friendly service. Everything was delicious. While another satisfied customer says great service and staff. The food is amazing and has yet to disappoint. GondelierofLondon.com. North Laurel and Gondolier are a winning team.
At London Power Equipment, power means service, power means protection, and most of all, power means power. Power. With technicians certified in Briggs, Kawasaki, Kohler, and Honda. And we offer for sale brands like Grasshopper, Simplicity, Echo, Husqvarna, DR, and Generac. We service and repair most outdoor power equipment brands. And if it's work gear, we've got you covered too. With arborist, forestry, and lineman gear. At 1680 Highway 192 East, we're open weekdays 8 to 5. With options for financing, we are locally owned and operated. Find LPE on Facebook or phone 606-389-5535 for London Power Equipment.
All right, welcome back to the Jaguar Broadcasting Network. Joined now by head coach Chris Edwards after the 10-5 win over Mercer County. Obviously, you guys got down 5-1 there early on, and it took several innings, for the bats to get going. But once it did, it felt like you guys started snowballing hit after hit, and it snowballed into something a lot bigger, and ended up you guys being able to get away with a hefty lead there.
Yeah, she's what's music? Music is her name.
Yep.
She throws a screwball, and she lives on the inside corner. That's something you don't see a lot. Well, we haven't seen in a couple of weeks anyway, and she throws pretty hard. So she's outstanding in what she does, and sometimes it takes a couple times through the lineup to get what you need, and we were finally able to put some good swings on it.
And our player of the game this evening was none other than Katie Sams. She even said it herself, and it was something a few of us have noticed, just looking from afar. She's been in a little bit of a slump this year and just kind of struggled, a leadoff hitter. That's a tough position to be in and a lot more pressure, First one seeing the pitcher, but tonight she had an outstanding evening at the plate, a big triple to get you guys going there in the bottom of the first.
Yeah, it's always nice to respond after you give up a couple runs early. She's been the spark plug for a couple years, 3 years now, and she hits the ball really good, and she can call it whatever she wants to call it. It's not been a season long slump. She's everybody hits the skids for a game or two, and she's not lived up to what I think she probably expects. And I'll be honest with you, we had her bunt and she got hit by the pitch, and I was fighting the urge to do that again because she's so good at that. I was trying to get the bases occupied for the girls behind her who's been swinging pretty good, and talk myself out of it. I said I'm going to give her till she gets a strike. Give her a swing because I didn't give her one the at bat before, and it worked out pretty good.
Yeah, that's probably been your best call this week as a coach.
Well, yeah, you're probably right.
She did that about what, 200, 250 dead center?
She hit one just like it in Lexington last year in the state tournament. It was the exact same thing on the exact same kind of a circumstance. But she can hit it. We all know she can hit it. She's swinging a good bat. She's been a little bit unlucky too. They've caught some stuff that she's hit, so she'll be fine.
And kind of going towards the pitching side, we've seen Lucy Joe start in the circle tonight. First varsity start. We know that Tessa is with her family over the death of her grandma, so we're praying for her. But we've seen, freshman, first time starting. Kind of what was your process going into that? We wanted
Lucy to start. Emma threw up some pitches in the first game today, so the point was to get as much out of Lucy as we could. We beat around going back and forth with those two. Let Lucy pitch a while, let Emma pitch a while. Kind of got out of that pretty early. Lucy pitched pretty good. I mean, they got a few hits and a couple of runs, but she did exactly what we need. We need to get to the middle of the game with her. She was great. Then Emma, of course, comes in. I think it was 5-1 when Emma came in.
It was 5-1.
She just shut the door, which is what she's good at doing. And we missed Tessa today. We missed her in the circle. We just missed her in general. life sometimes happens, and it happened to her this week, and we hate that, and we're sorry, and we hate that we missed her. She stood up in the locker room yesterday and explained to the girls why she couldn't be here, how much it hurt her not to be able to be here to be with her girls. And, you know, she's a family person. She's oriented that way, as most of these girls are. This is just we took a picture in the locker room. We wrote on our big whiteboard today, we play for the Mont Hollands, and that's what we were doing, and I'm glad we could pull out a win today.
And last question, as we're talking about family and just this North Laurel legacy and what's been built here, going into Monday night, you're going into senior night. That's a daughter you have and about 4 other kids that you've about raised since they started playing softball. So what are you looking forward about Monday, kind of the mentality around that, and just forward to the end of the season? These girls wrap it up.
You know, Emily, senior night sucks for a coach. And you had yours. This will be my 4th senior night as the head coach. I've cried at all the other 3. I'll cry tomorrow, especially because of Morgan. You know, and one of the things I told you, and I'll tell these girls, is it's not about your last game on this field, because it may or may not be with weather and tournaments and whatnot. Tonight, the after the game is about mom and dad, the car rides home that were miserable, the car rides home tonight that'll be fun, that'll be upbeat. All the games, your brothers and sisters who were traveling all over. That's what I want them to remember so much about softball. I mean, softball is not in the NBA. We're not going to leave high school and go make $50 million playing a game. Yep. This is something you've got to love to do it. And these 5 girls do. You know, we've got a little thing going where the Facebook, we got a baby picture and a high school picture. The best thing about senior night is when it's over, because it's absolutely miserable. There's a lot of planning. I've got a lot of parents and family and coaches' families and stuff doing a lot of work. We'll have cupcakes. We'll have a big time. Hopefully we'll play good and we'll win. That we also have to learn and get ready. We got postseason right around the corner, so we have to make sure we're doing everything right. But having said all that, it's a celebration of the girls, the time, the effort. It has nothing to do with me. It's not me, the coach, me, the dad, maybe, but not me, the coach that night. And if we could keep the cameras off me, Hickory that night, just
right
focus on the girls, that would be great.
Yeah, well, I don't know if we can do that, because we will be here. Here at 6 o'clock to go live. The game does not start till 6:30, but 6 o'clock will be all the senior activities and stuff, and we're excited to be here broadcasting that along with game action afterwards. But your Lady Jags pull out a 10-5 win over Mercer County and end off a really great year 3 of the John Hooker Memorial Classic. Thank you all for tuning in, and we will see you all Monday night at 6 o'clock. Go Jags!
For quality casework since 1975, look no further than Stidham Cabinet Incorporated at 471 Nursery Road in Corbin. If you want experience, expertise, and dedication, you've found it at Stidham Cabinet. Come create your dream design by visiting our 2,000 square foot showroom, or visit StidhamCabinet.com to see a list of all of our name brand products to choose from. That's Stidham Cabinet, 471 Nursery Road in Corbin. Phone number 606-528-3648 or 800-425-0899.
Country gospel, you have found souls. It's the light of London 98.5 for the old and new. And somewhere in between, we are the light of London for the very best in country and southern gospel.
We are the light of London 98.5, providing you with some of the very best gospel music around. And you can take us with you anywhere you go. For more information, visit us at www.lightoflondon.com.